9 minutes before we get underway, and we'll get underway at 10:30. Field of 58. Go to the post here today, the Bainbridge Company's leader 50, 5-star, and we'll get underway at 10:30. Just under 5 minutes before we resume as Friday in action, 5 Thank you.
All right, hello and welcome everyone to the $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge Meter 50 speed competition for week 5 here at the Winter Equestrian Festival at Wellington International. I'm your host, Danny Waldman, and I am thrilled to be here presenting our live stream. Thanks, of course, to this week's title sponsor, Fidelity Investments. They are sponsoring all week here, as well as tomorrow night's 5-star Grand Prix Under the Lights. And of course, today's class sponsor is Bainbridge. We thank Bainbridge and the Bainbridge Companies, LLC. Dodd Technologies presenting our live stream. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. And today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. It's going to be a great class today. 57 horse rider combinations, over 14 nations represented. Weather out there is about 68 degrees, but partly cloudy, light breeze. And there you can see our start list. Kathleen Driscoll get us started. Chloe Reed, who had a wonderful round on her other horse yesterday, crossover, will go third. Zaina Rizvi, the young superstar for America. Richard Vogel has 2 in the class. Of course, you can ride 2 different horses in this class today. Amy Miller won our meter 50 a couple of weeks ago out here. Laura Kraut coming forward. It's going to be a very strong field of horses for this speed class. There you can see Jordan Coyle. We know how fast he can be. Derek Kenny was second yesterday in our WEF Challenge Cup. Mimi Gotchman, who was second in the 4-star Grand Prix last week. There you see Richard Vogel for a second time. Nicola Philipparts, he was our winner in the WEF the other week. Ken Farrington, of course, our big winner yesterday in the WEF Challenge Cup, as well as last week out on the field on the WEF Challenge Cup. So he's on a roll. And it is certainly going to be a strong group of horses and riders coming out today. Speed class, so everyone trying. And, of course, yesterday for the WEF Challenge Cup, 30 horse rider combinations qualified, but another 10 who aren't already qualified will get through today from today's class for tomorrow night's 5-star. So those people who are not qualified yet, certainly trying to qualify today. So I anticipate we're going to see quite a bunch of speedy rounds. There's a lot of options out there on the course, and a lot of options as far as what numbers you can do and how aggressive people want to be. A lot of rollbacks, and of course, courses set by the Frenchman Gregory Baudot. He will be building in Paris for the Olympics, so it's a great chance for the horses and riders to get a chance and feel his courses. So, our first one is making their way in, and I will talk you guys through the course. Again, time allowed is going to be 71 seconds to get us started, so quite quick going around there today. And our first one is going to be Kathleen Driscoll and Flotilla. Flotilla is a 13-year-old mare owned by Don Stewart, by Alvaro with the Bajou du Rouet mother. Okay. Let's taking a look at what she does. Right lead to the first jump. Oxer here, nice and rampy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Easy. Gets up the 6, no problem, but she does hook that vertical at number 2 behind. Turn back here. Liverpool. Steadies up in the 6. Vertical Oxer. Now right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Across the middle, has that as well. She's going for it, so she's a little bit quick. Horse just not finishing the jump behind. 2 stride Oxer vertical. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stays out a little bit there. Steadies up in the 4 to the plank. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you could see it is 7 or 8, depending on what the riders choose to do. She was trying to steady, got real deep to it. Now steadies up here. Double verticals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And does the steady 7 to the last. We probably will see some 6s, but she will finish up with 3 down, 12 faults times 65.26. to get us started for the $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50 speed. So, as you can see, there were a couple of options out there. We're going to see a number of different things happen today as far as what people choose to do, dependent not only on their horse, but also depending on if they're trying to qualify, as well as if they are just trying to give a little training round. Some of these horses haven't jumped yet this week, maybe prepping for tomorrow night's class if they didn't jump the qualifier. So this class is always an interesting one on Fridays because people use it for different things. And now that it is a partial qualifier for the Grand Prix, I believe we're going to see people really try to go for the win. And that, of course, will be very exciting. And we love watching that because that's why we're here, for the sport. All right, next up, USA's Jimmy Turano. Jimmy Turano is sitting on Chewbacca HCC, the 12-year-old Holsteiner gelding, owned by Isalu Inc. and the Jet Show Stable. By Claremont with the Quintero mother. So let's see what Jimmy chooses to do. Jimmy, I can't remember yesterday what his round was. So don't know if he's qualified or not. Wish I had that list in front of me, but I don't. Looks like he's going for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Steady's up in the 8. We might even see a 7 there. Moves up in the 6. A little bit of a difficult angle at that blue oxer. It's very airy. But so far they're jumping it okay. Offset Liverpool here. This horse has a very big stride and a very big jump. Just gets there a little bit early in the tight double. Beautiful jump there across the orange vertical at the top. Backs up great there in the oxer vertical 2-stride. Stays on the inside track. Steadies up for the plank here. Doesn't quite finish that jump behind. And then he just moves up in the 7. I think that's actually quite simple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And gets there nicely in the 6 to the Logano to finish up. He will finish with 2 down, 8 faults, 64.81. Again, that time allowed 71 seconds. We're not going to be too concerned with that today because it is a speed class. But so I don't believe our winner will be anywhere near that 71 seconds. But for those people who are using it as a training round, that could come into effect for those taking their time. All right, next up, USA's 27-year-old rider, Chloe Reed and Chelsea 179, the Live Oak Plantation entry. Very good pop off the ground. Actually, I haven't seen this horse too much, but Chloe has had really an unbelievable season, and she jumped yesterday probably one of the best rounds in the WEF Challenge Cup on her other horse, Crossover. This horse, very scopy, just jumps very easy, but really pats the ground. Look at that. Drops down a little bit on takeoff, pats the ground to jump the vertical. Look at that. Really gets back in the saddle. You can see what a strong natural position Chloe has. Really using her upper body to sit up and keep creating that energy. There, just has it down behind at the plank. Just trying to be quick, but just the hind end came down a little bit early onto that plank. Not an easy jump to jump. Again, late in the course, one of the more delicate jumps out there. Gets over the last, but we'll pick up that 1 down. 64.50 is the time. 4 faults. That will be our leader at the moment. But again, we're just getting underway. So it is difficult with that plank coming so late in the course, especially after so many other lines. And this is kind of a rapid-fire course. Gregory Baudot setting this course, and he has put the distances and the jumps all very much connected. There's not really much time to breathe. It's not only a speed class. There aren't such long distances in between jumps. Almost everything is a related distance or a rollback. But that makes it difficult for a speed. All right, USA's Michaela Langmeyer and Pepita Vidi Rollebeek coming up now. This is just a 9-year-old mare by Otangelo, owned by Linda Langmeyer. Nice tight turn back there. Puts a little bit of shape in this 6. I almost think there could be a 7 there for someone who really catches it. She really was tight there. Strong ride coming in. Yeah, she was a little bit far off it. She tried. She was trying to keep the rhythm through the corner, but just was a little bit too far off. Clears the plank nicely. Moves up here in the 7 so she can even steady up at the end. Still trying to be neat just around this little flower pot on the ground. And then just comes in a little bit on that right to left angle. Moves up in the 6, clears the last, but we'll pick up those 3 down, 12 faults, 59.63. So she breaks the 60-second barrier, but with the 3 down, we'll have to see if anyone else can do that and leave the jumps up. Again, when you're watching a speed class, you always got to remember that you'll see a lot of faults that you wouldn't normally see in a typical kind of normal class where there's going to be a jump off because people are really trying to go for things. And like you saw with Michaela, she really made that tight turn back to the double. Didn't give herself time, but again, she was trying to win the class. So that's what happens. All right, 18-year-old USA's Zaina Rizvi and Kung Fu, owned by the Kung Fu Group. It's a 9-year-old gelding by Arezzo VDL with the Tangelo mother. Neat here. She's right on that track there. Keeps moving through the corner. Steadies up, and then she could add leg again. Very tight there in the double. Horse backed up great. Just smooth there, middle to middle in the 8. Same kind of thing. She's pushing here, a little bit far off it. Same thing that happened to Michaela. Always hard. Ox her out of a short turn into a double like that. Asking for that back pole. Nice over the plank. Opens up the stride here to get down the 7. And she's trying to keep the pace up, but not ultra neat on the turns and everything after having the 1 down. Moves up here, little reach over the back, but 63.37 and 4 faults for Zaina Rizvi and Kung Fu. All right, we're moving right through this, and next up is going to be, it's looking like Germany's Richard Vogel, the 26-year-old superstar rider who has made such a splash on the international scene in the last couple of years, of course, winning that big Rolex Grand Prix of Geneva back in December. And he already won the 3-star here a couple of weeks ago, so keeping his winning ways. Today he's sitting on Dream Star 1, 11-year-old Celle Francais gelding, owned by Natalie Cottrell. It's Canon Quick Star mother. Does the 8. 6 there is very scopy horse. Richie, of course, one of the fastest riders in the world. Neat turn. Does the 5 here into the double. Wow, that was an unbelievable move. Athletic move for the horse to get out of that. That was a risky move for Richie to take to do the 1 less coming into the double. Steadies up here. This horse has a very big stride. Really jumps away from that front pole. Great. He's neat back here. He's pushing into this. Ooh, a little bit of a stutter step. Tried to go for it. Has that 1 down. Jumps the last. But quick time, 60.53, but 4 faults for Richard Vogel in Dream Star 1. So gave it a good go. Again, thinking probably to try to qualify for tomorrow night's Grand Prix. Again, 10 will qualify from today, but it's 10 after the already pre-qualified. So it's not like it's the first 10 in the list, but the 10 people who aren't already qualified, they'll go down that list to pick the 10 more. All right, next up, Canada's Amy Miller, ranked 58th in the world, and she is sitting on Don't Worry Farmer, the Millerbrook Farm entry, of the 11-year-old gelding. She does the patient 7 here. Just rolls that there. Just looked like he almost stared at the Liverpool a tiny bit and just kind of lowered the hind end as he jumped it. Kind of got a little bit squatty at it and then just barely kind of rolled the top pole out of the cups. There, just cutting down a little bit like that. We've seen now so many horses just a little bit off it. And couldn't quite see it on the camera, but I think she actually had the front pole of that oxer coming into the 4 as well. Sits up nice for the double verticals. Gets over the last, but will finish up. 65.08 is the time. 12 faults on the course for Amy Miller and Don't Worry Farmer. So we have yet to see a clear round. Actually seen quite a lot of faults coming down kind of all over the place. But that is the challenge of a speed class and it being a Grand Prix qualifier. And it is set at meter 50, so it's big enough. It's technical enough with a lot of options depending on your horse. And the pressure, the added pressure of trying to qualify for tomorrow night's class. All right, let's take a look at the next entry. 43-year-old from Brazil, Eduardo Pereira de Meneses. And he is sitting on Jaipur 22. Owned and ridden by Eduardo himself. 10-year-old gelding by Berlin with the numero uno mother. Real Dutch bred horse. And let's see what Jaipur can do. Nice left to right angle here. Does this patient 9. Patient 7. It's funny, actually. I thought that the blue oxer at the end here looked very airy and difficult, but they're all really flying over it and jumping it quite well, which is nice to see. Means they're seeing it better than we expected. Steadies up here into the short double. And again has that back pole coming into the oxer vertical double. Proving to be the most difficult jump on the course. And it is. You want to be tight because you want to be quick with the time, but that forces sometimes that first distance to come up and the horse is losing a little bit of power. And it's a wide enough oxer coming in. It's not huge, but it is quite wide and they're all reaching to that back pole. He'll clear the last one, but with that one down up at the top, 4 faults, time 66.27 will be the time for Eduardo and Jaipur. Going into 4th at the moment. All right, we're going to move on to Hallie Grimes and the Can We Keep It LLC entry, Caroline of Balmar. 14-year-old mare by Dorado with the Convento Vandehel mother. Of course, this was the 5-star winning mount from Ashley Bond in the Finale Grand Prix a couple of years ago. And Margie Engel also rode this horse in the past, but now it's under Hallie Grimes. Keeps moving in the 6. Looking really good. Hallie's such a scrappy little rider out there, always trying to go for it. Beautiful jump there. Needs to steady up here. Super jump. She's really been riding great. Getting a little bit close there to that vertical. Slips around the turn. Oh, that screwed up her distance a little bit. Ooh, rubs it, but it stays up. She's going for it. It's a little bit wide in the turns, but keeping the pace up. Ugh, and there just gets a little bit too quick and flat to the plank. Didn't take her time enough to jump it. Horse just had a lot of momentum rolling down that 4 strides. So she steadies up here to jump around these double verticals. Beautiful there. And that was very good. Shame. 4 faults, 61.90 for Hallie Grimes and Caroline. Actually, I think I hadn't seen Hallie and that horse jump in quite a while, and looks like they're really gelling as a partnership, looking very good. It was a shame for that one down. All right, moving on to the 24th ranked rider in the world, Laura Kraut for the USA, and she's sitting on Eugenie Ango's entry and Stars and Stripes Calgary Tame. 12-year-old gelding by Old Chap Tame. Oh, big jump there. Just rolling the back pole, or the top pole of that Liverpool with the hind legs. Again, we've also seen that come down exactly that same way. Coming off a short turn, thinking about that line, and just not able to get that hind end quite out of the way. Trailing it a little bit there, but gets over the plank, right to the base of that green oxer, but looking okay. And there again, off that short turn, we're seeing A come down quite a lot. Big stretch at the last, but she will pick up 2 down, 8 faults, 64.80 for Laura Kraut and Calgary Tame. We are still looking for our first clear. We've seen 11 jump already and still no clears. So, proving to be challenging out there for today's meter 50. And we're seeing faults come all over the place. Let's see if Rupert Karl Winkelmann, the German rider, on the Eichendorff Horses GmbH & Co. entry Quinn 33. 14-year-old gelding by Kidam with a contender mother. A little bit of stretch there across one. Now the horse is following him. Stays out a little bit for the 7. It does, if you do the 7 there, it does put you on a better line for the rollback to the Liverpool. The 6 puts you out a little bit to the right. Keeps moving here into the very short double. Wow, what an effort there. That was super athletic on the horse's part. Keeps moving here. Rupert really trusting this horse's carefulness. Steadies up, but actually gets to the base of that. Rode that really well. That's the one place on the course people need to take their time because it's just not coming up right. Steadies up. Gets over the plank. Moves up for the 7. Now he's just got to take his time. Let the horse curl around these verticals. Right to the base. Ooh, a little bit of a rub, but that one stays up. Can he do it? Last jump. And he does. There we go. Automatic leader. 60.52 is going to be our automatic leader. 60.52. And on the clear for Rupert and Quinn. So, super round there. You can see we've seen a lot of different options. We've seen 7s and 8s and 9s and all different choices by the riders as to what makes sense for their horse and maybe balancing not doing all the leave outs. I mean, that's always a question, right? When you do a speed class, you'd assume the fastest round is the one that just does all the leave outs and the shortest track and the shortest number of steps. However, when you do that early on in the course and you just leave all the strides out, the horse's jump gets flatter and flatter, and it makes it harder and harder to leave the jumps up. So, as a rider in strategy, it's very important that you balance between leaving strides out where you think you can, and then maybe balancing up and doing one more here and there to make sure that you leave the jumps up. So, speed classes require quite a lot of strategy. All right, let's see what Mexico's Carlos Hencarero can do. He's sitting on H5 Nostalgia. 11-year-old Belgian-bred gelding by H5 Sport Horses, LLC, and the Emerald and Understone mother. Big jump behind. Look at the hind end open up on this horse. Direct in the 6. Really opening up beautifully. Taking the first distance, a little bit long there. Horse actually going to the bathroom, which can slow him down a little bit. Gets across that tight double. Again, leading time from Rupert, 60.52. And that's what he's got to try to beat. Little reach across that coming in, but gets away with it. Steadies up, and just a little bit too steady, too kind of dead on takeoff. Horse jumped up, just not able to get across the back pole there. And then gets there a little bit early and has the front pole down. Steadies up for the 7. Nice big jump at the last, but we'll pick up those 2 down on the course. 8 faults, 65.25 is that time for Carlos and H5 Nostalgia. So 1 clear at the moment. That is our leader, Rupert Carl Winkelmann, and Quinn 33. 60.52 is that time. But we all know that this Irishman can be very fast. He won a meter 50 out on the grass recently, and let's see if Ireland's Jordan Coyle, ranked 87th in the world, and Chocolino can challenge that leading time of 60.52. This horse is owned by Jordan himself as well as the Elon Farm, and Chocolino is a 13-year-old gelding by Choco Blue with a Heartbreaker mother. Let's see what he does. Patient in the 9. Stays out in the 7. So not looking like he's really running for it today. But Jordan is very good about using his track and just staying very neat. So he doesn't have to necessarily run the horse off his feet. Oh, unfortunately 5-8 does come down. It rolled a little bit forward. It looked like maybe it was going to stay in the cups, and then it rolled backwards out and to the ground. Got a great jump there. Just staying out, setting up the horse here. Jordan's so good at just softening his hands. Right on takeoff, you can see him drop them down. Jump that great. He's another example of rider that bridges his reins. We saw that with Richie Vogel yesterday. Kent is known to do that sometimes. Ludger Bierbaum has done that in the past. I know quite a lot of riders. Christian Allman. Jordan Coyle will finish up with 4 faults. 67.30 is the time. All right. Moving on to a fellow countryman from Ireland, Derek Kenny. 36-year-old rider, ranked 21st in the world. Today he's sitting on Diva Karef BH. 11-year-old mare by L'Arc de Triomphe with the Cap Kennedy 2 mother, owned by the Mimi Snow Sport Horse LLC. Dara had a very good round in the meter 50 last week out on the grass on this horse. Steadies up here. Great ride there. He could add leg versus being sort of backed up. A lot of people have come into that double quite fast. There, sets up that nicely. This horse really jumping great. It's a big horse. It's a lot of horse to manage. I think Dara does a great job with it. Of course, this horse was formerly seen under Lucy Deslauriers. You can see it's big and scopy, and that comes from the L'Arc de Triomphe. It's a French stallion that was also very scopy. Horse did not want to jump that today. Was trying to be neat, came around. That was a very quick turnaround time for Dara to just spin right back around to come jump it. But we'll have B down and the circle pick up 2 time faults. So total of 10 faults, 8 on the course, 2 on the clock. 72.68 is that time. Almost made it within the time allowed, actually, even with the circle. So, not for Dara, but he is qualified from his 2nd place finish yesterday in the WEF. All right, another rider who had a great day yesterday in the WEF Challenge Cup. It's Columbia's Mark Blumen, and he is sitting on a Norcha Vidi Windheuvel. That's a hard name to say. Over the Top Stables LLC entry of the 11-year-old Belgian-bred mare by Farfaloo with the Cannon Mother. A little bit of pause there on takeoff. You can see this horse has little cuffs on protecting the bulbs of the feet, but no front boots. We don't see that so often. Of course, most commonly we see it on Margie Goldstein's Angle's horse Dekas. But not so common a lot of times. We were talking about it yesterday. Sometimes the horses get rubs or just sensitive to having boots in the front. So if they don't like them, don't put them on. Less is more in this case. Steadies up here. Ooh, just kind of dove across that. Got it done. Moves up here. Oh, and there you can see the jump. Just getting a little bit straight and flat through the top line. Not getting enough height up through the body to get over that oxer. Similar thing actually coming out of the double. Clears the last. But quick enough time, 61.42. But we'll pick up the 8 faults for Mark Blumen and Norcha. They'll be sitting in 8th place at the moment. All right, now we're taking a look at America's team gold medalist from the Tryon World Championships. It's going to be USA's Devin Ryan and Eddie Blue. It's a wonderful horse that he has had since the age of 5. It's owned by the LL Show Jumpers LLC. 15-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by Zirocco Blue with the Marlon Mother. And a very interesting fact about Zirocco Blue. Zirocco Blue is obviously the father of this horse. Typically producing lots of blood, very scopy horses. However, Zirocco Blue, by the stats, has one of the highest percentage of double clears of any Grand Prix horse in America. That Eddie Blue does, not Zirocco, sorry. At the 5-star level. Gets over that. This horse has a very big stride, really sets that up. A little bit of a touch coming out there. Oh, through a shoe, you could see. Just grabbed it on the backside. But he's still going. Good jump here. Curls around that vertical. Just pops the back pole there. Gets over the plank. Needs to keep going. Steadies up. Clears that. 1 left to go. And gets over the last, but we'll pick up that 1 down. 4 faults, 62.09. Putting Devin into 4th at the moment. So we'll see how that holds for final placing and qualifying for the Grand Prix. Great effort with the horse through that double, and then he yanked the shoe off. Unfortunately, just having the back pole of that oxer into the 4-stride line. But solid round there. Okie dokie. We're going to look at Ireland's Conor O'Regan next. And he's sitting on the Dynamite Ranch LLC entry, Mendini DR. 12-year-old mare by Hunter Sendix with the Cassini 1 mother. Again, only 1 clear so far. And we've seen, we're on number 18. So that is a low clear rate for this class. He stays out in the 7. Again, our leader also did the 7 there. He's a little bit wider than everyone's tracks here. You can see that on the ground. Nice in the 6. Big effort coming out there. This is not the biggest horse, but certainly a trier. Good job there by Conor to kind of create energy right on takeoff. Make sure the horse had enough power to get across that oxer coming in. We know that's a difficult one to jump. Can you hear Muse's voice there a little bit? Whoa, whoa. Slow the horse down in the 4. Keeps moving here. It's looking good so far. I don't think he's on the time of Rupert, but gotta leave the jumps up. Oh, jinxed it. Rolls that pole with the front legs and picks up the last as well. 8 faults total, 68.65 is that time for Connor O'Regan and Mendini. So again, our leader is 60.52 for reference, and still only with that one clear. And we are rolling our way through this. All right, let's see if the young 23-year-old from the USA, Daisy Farish, can give it a go. Daisy is sitting on the lane's end show jumping entry, Orwell SCF. It's a 10-year-old Belgian-bred gelding by Dictator with the Heartbreaker mother. Again, I think this horse was bred here in the U.S. with that SCF. We know it's Spy Coast Farm. We were talking about breeding yesterday, and Lisa Laurie and Spy Coast Farm. One of the few, but also incredibly supportive people and breeding stables here in the U.S. breeding young sport horses for show jumping specifically. And, it's great to see that in the U.S. It's a top horse coming out of that program. Jumps that well. Steadies up, jumps that. What a beautiful jump. This horse jumps in such a great shape. You can see it really takes its time. That hind end grabs the ground, jumps good in front, opens up behind. Really special jumper, this horse. Clears that plank, moves up here and can steady up again. Nice space. Don't think she's going to be challenging that time. A little bit on the disunited cross canter here. Doesn't seem to matter. One left to go. Not going to catch the time, but does get the clear. 67.58 on the clear for Daisy. So that will go into second place as our only other clear at the moment. So beautiful round there for Daisy. Now we're going to take a look at Belgium's Nicola Philipparts. He was our Pathfinder yesterday in the WEF Challenge Cup. He elected not to jump off, but today he's sitting on the 9-year-old Belgian-bred mare Pandora Van de Kruishove. 9-year-old mare by Sidan with the Elvis de Putten mother, owned by Team Philipparts. The sire of this horse, Sidan, was a really well-known horse actually in the Netherlands, and had tremendous success as a young horse, and then came over here and was seen with Chris McRae. Nicola looking good so far. Oh, fortunately, jumps a little too low at that plank. Again, it's a little bit down the hill there. Four-stride is a little bit short, and he also has 11A coming into that last double. We've seen that come down quite a lot today. So Nicola will pick up 8 faults, 2 down on the course. 64.92 is the time for the Belgian in Pandora. All right. Richard Vogel is now coming back on his second mount, ranked 11th in the world. And this time he is sitting on Chepino Balabé. Coleridge Equestrian LLC and Richard Vogel entry of the 10-year-old gelding by Shaman with the staccatos highlight. Of course, this was the mount that he won the 5-star finale Rolex Grand Prix on last year here during the Winter Equestrian Festival. He's had tremendous success on this horse. Won a class in Aachen. Just patient here. Wanting to jump the clear. This horse is very, very fast foot speed. He does not need to try to be crazy fast. He actually won a class on this horse a couple of weeks ago, and he said he didn't even think he was trying to win. But he was very, very quick. This horse has very quick foot speed. It doesn't waste much time in the air. And Richie, of course, such an efficient rider. Just wants to make sure to try to leave the jumps up today. Clears that. Steadies up here, does the one more. Good jump there. Gets through the double verticals. One left to go. Nice efficient round. Ooh, a little bit of a rub at the last. Gets lucky. Stays up. 66.65 for Richard Vogel. And that will put him into second place at the moment. So that was a nice efficient round there. That should ensure his qualification for tomorrow night. Nice solid round there. He'll get a piece of this for sure. All right, looking at a 19-year-old from the USA, Mimi Gotchman. Mimi is ranked 86th in the world. She was second in our 4-star Grand Prix last week, and she is sitting on the 9-year-old gelding Incline BH. The DG Sport Horse LLC entry. The 9-year-old gelding by Staccato Gold with a Raphael mother. I was looking this horse up, and I've said it before. I think this horse was born in Australia, but I gotta ask somebody else and try to get more info and find out if that's actually true. Good shot in there. Really used her upper body to sit up, let the horse back up, pat the ground at the 2-stride. Beautiful shot there. Looking really solid. Neat again. I don't think going to catch the time of Rupert. A little bit of a rub at the vertical coming in. And gets over the last. Clear. 64.11. That will go into second place. 64.11 is the time. And she will go into second place. So nice solid round there. Again, a couple seconds off that. Actually, 4 seconds off the pace of Rupert Carl Winkelmann, who's our leader at the moment with Quinn 33. Beautiful round there by All right, now we're going to take a look at the one and only Ben Mayer. Ranked second in the world, representing his home nation of Great Britain, reigning Olympic champion. He is sitting on the 10-year-old Anjou de Grecian. Owned by Ben himself, as well as Charlotte Rossetter and Pamela Wright. 10-year-old gelding by Toulon, the Andiamo mother. Won the World Cup on this horse in London in the fall. Stays out in the 7, then he's curving back right to left, very tight here. I think this might be one of the tighter turns back to this. Again, you can do the 6 and take 1 stride away there, but then gain a bunch of strides on the landing side for the turn, or you could do 1 extra angle and then save a couple of strides back on the rollback. So that's where the strategy in these speed classes comes into play. Puts a little bit of a bend in the 2-stride there. Ben is certainly trying to be fast and efficient today, but doesn't look like he's going crazy. Just keeping it organized. Same kind of thing here. He keeps moving, but stays out on the track. Then he can be very neat back here. Ben has such excellent connection on both sides of the mouth around that turn. A lot of times you'll see people kind of just yank on the inside rein. Ben using both reins to turn. That was wonderful. 62.17, putting him into second place at the moment. 62.7. And that was an absolutely beautiful round reigning Olympic champion Bainbridge, showing us how it's done. That was a masterclass.
Take up the challenge now in our speed event.
Okie dokie, we are moving on to Natalie Dean of the USA and the Marigold Sport Horses LLC entry, a Contender M. 24 years old, ranked 83rd in the world. Of course, her coach just went into second, and he'll be watching from the in-gate, I'm sure. She's on a Contender. It's been such a wonderful horse for Natalie. It's just so much blood, so fun and compact. It's like just a blast to ride, like a little bouncy ball to jump meter 60. It's awesome. Look at that, great, careful. She was a little bit far off 5A, and the horse just yanks those front legs up and out of the way. Very careful. Gives herself a little bit of time here so she can move up there. Jumps up around that. Great. Wow. Opened up beautifully. Coming out of the double. Takes the big one here. Is going to need to steady up for the 4. Oh, but trust the carefulness of the horse. Moves up here. Makes the turn. Sits up here. Jumps up. This horse just jumping in beautiful form. Exactly what you want to see. Steadies up to the last, gets over it. 64.80. That time, and she'll go into 4th at the moment with that nice, efficient time. Beautiful round there for Natalie. That was actually 4 in a row that we've seen clear. Looking good so far. Okay. Still leading Rupert Carl Winkelman, and now we're going to see Ireland's Shane Sweetnam. And the Seabrook LLC entry of the 10-year-old mare, Irondale du Flot. Of course, won the meter 50 as well as the meter 45 the last week in the 4-star. Has been a super speed horse for Shane. Let's see if he can do it today. Oh, look at this short turn. He's well inside everybody else's tracks. A little bit tight here, but this horse is so careful. Throws a shoe. Funny that we've actually seen a lot of shoes come off today. Don't see that so often. Real angle there on the orange. Keeps it neat. Ooh, he's a little far off that. Yeah. Too far. Just lost a little bit of power through that turn. Don't think the horse wanted to touch it. It was just way too far away. Jumps. This horse is just so aware of where her legs are. Does have B at coming out there. Moves up for the last. Gets over the last. But with those 2 down, 8 faults, 64.36 for Shane Sweetnam and Irondale du Flot. So, you can see he's picking up his shoe. Always very annoying. Remember, those shoes are just nailed into what would be the exterior of the long part of the white part of your nail. So, horses don't necessarily feel it. It's more of a weight difference once they comes off. But shouldn't hurt at all. Of course, we're seeing so many more horses going barefoot anyway. Less of a problem is all right, now we're going to go and look at Ken Farrington. He was, of course, our winner of the WEF Challenge Cup yesterday, as well as the WEF Challenge Cup last week. But today he's sitting on the 10-year-old mare, Greya. Ken Farrington LLC is the owner of the Colestis by Contender mare. This horse was ridden by... Actually, I think Kent's actually had this horse a long time, but Colestis, the father of this horse, was ridden by Christian Kuckuck, the German rider. And is one of the oldest children out of Calestis. Just keeping it organized. This horse has such a cute little jump. Not that big of a horse, but actually looks like a really fun horse to ride. You can see Kent just moving his hands forward on takeoff, just giving the horse a lot of freedom to jump. I think he's thinking to be neat and organized, but not, obviously not worrying about any kind of qualifying, just setting the horse up. And you can see he really moves his hands forward, lets the horse jump. Such a careful little horse. Steadies up, does the 7 there. Again, just setting her up. Perhaps a little more. All right. He will have the clear 68.65 for Kent. 68.65. On the clear, but not going for the win today. Sacrificing the win for a nice setup for the rest of the
Here's
week.
Canadian rider Mary Laurier, handed by the board, plus the quick PS for the Art Amphibian of Buchanan, Connecticut.
All right, now we're looking at Canadian rider Mario Delorier, ranked 67th in the world, and he's sitting on Costa Quick PS, the Aram Ampagumian LLC entry of the 10-year-old gelding by Conthargos with the Quick Star mother. Playful horse. There, you could see the horse just drop behind him a little bit, and he had to really put his leg back on to get the horse to come through the corner. Big jump there. Gets right to the base of that, a little bit deep as he was on the angle. Great effort on the horse's part. Wow, opened up beautifully around that vertical. Seeing actually a number of horses jump that one quite well. They're struggling a little bit at A, and they're jumping that vertical nice. Gets him over the plank. Steadies up there right to the base, but really pat the ground as he took off there. That was good athleticism out of the Conthargos. Again, Conthargos is our real gummy athletic animals. Adding leg to get across the back. He does. Time 68.76 for Mario. And Costa Quick. So that'll put him into 8th place at the moment. All right, now we're going to take a look at 30-year-old rider from Germany, Renee Dittmer. He's ranked 103rd in the world. Renee is sitting on the Glenhaven Farm and Sport Fair Dittmar GmbH entry Corsica X. 11-year-old mare by Connor with the Corofino 2 mother. Good. Just keeping it organized, doing the patience 7. But then he does neat turn back here. Renee had a really good fall. He was here in the U.S. And with this horse, he was 5th in the World Cup in Toronto. So he had a very good fall. I think it was the first fall he'd ever spent in the U.S. versus Europe, and had a really good time. Horses stayed, and he went back to Europe for a little bit, and now he's back. Gets over that. Nice and neat, sitting in that saddle, keeping the connection. That was a beautiful turn. Oh, and unfortunately, having B of that red double verticals at the end. 66.104 faults for Renee Dittmer in Corsica.
Take us up to our halfway drag break here in our lineup for the 5-star.
All right, we're going to move on to USA's Carly Anthony, Jet Blue. Portfolio Horses LLC entry. The 13-year-old gelding by VDL Zirocco Blue and the Indoctro mother. This horse had a bunch of riders throughout its career, but primarily developed by Carly herself. Nice and neat here. She keeps moving around the turn. That was well done. Just stayed right on it. Gets across that. Nice ride there. Wow, look at that skip move the horse did in the middle of the double. That was awesome. You could see he just held the 1 foot, skipped a little bit, helped shorten his stride. Good athletic move by Mr. Jet Blue. Moves up here a little bit in the 7. Ooh, a little bit of a rub at the front pole. Luckily, that stays up. Gets a nice turn here. Just uses her upper body. Clears the verticals. 1 left to go. Quick time, but not quite fast enough. 62.85 will put her into 3rd at the moment. So, quick time there for Carly Anthony and Jet Blue. And you can see a nice smile there. She's happy with that round. It's a good old trusty partner of hers. It is going to be our halfway break. Again, we are still seeing our first clear leading, and that was Rupert Carl Winkelmann and the Eichendorff Horses GmbH entry of Quinn 33. Seen a number of clears since then, but no one coming close to Rupert's time. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with you guys shortly for the remaining half of the $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50 speed.
remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place.
Northern Dancer, winner of the Florida Derby.
All the history, and all these great horses, trainers, jockeys.
It is Vogel to the final furlong. He's a neck in front. Vogel wins!
It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
First day, opening day of the championship, I was kind of starstruck. You're watching LeBron James, and then next thing you know, you're playing basketball against him. That's how I felt when I'm riding with Donnie B, riding with Irad, Luis.
So many famous people come. Post Malone, Pharrell, J-Lo was there. It's epic.
The weather is beautiful. The facility is phenomenal.
It's all about Knicks Go. Knicks Go makes it 4 in a row.
It's one of the most beautiful tracks in the country, surrounded by some of the greatest horses and riders. It's amazing.
Welcome to Carlswood, the home of Irish Olympic medalist, coach and international horse producer, Cian O'Connor. At Carlswood, we pride ourselves on the belief that success is reward for effort. Set in County Meath, Carlswood is the home of Cian's industry-leading high-performance centre. The Carlswood system is based on a structured approach to daily routine and meticulous planning to help reach our goals. At Carlswood, Cian and the team work together to provide coaching, mentoring, advice on horse purchases and goal setting. We also facilitate students who wish to progress their show jumping skills while they study in universities in Ireland and across Europe. When it comes to developing your horse's fitness, scheduling and planning around competitions, no stone is left unturned. At Carlswood, we are committed to delivering quality, a place where our goal is the fulfilment of your ambition.
The greatest thing about our sport is not the ribbons, the trophies, nor the crowds. Each and every one of us found this sport because it gave us something we couldn't find before. What our sport gave us was a common love through horses. It forged a bond greater than petty differences and the sting of competition. It gave us community, it gave us love, and it gave us support through the good times and the bad. It gave us encouragement, and it gave us the strength to persevere through the toughest of times. The older we get, the more we realize the importance of one another and supporting one another. We cannot go forward without each other. Join us February 13th at Maida Farm for the 3rd annual Babington Benefit Classic, where you can make a difference in the great community we have built together. We are equestrian strong. We are the Kevin Babington Foundation. Learn more and register on our website, kevinbabingtonfoundation.org.
Doors lead us to places we've never been. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. They can help you create a retirement income plan designed to balance growth and guaranteed income, and provide access to specialists who help with estate planning to look out for future generations. So you're not just growing and protecting your wealth, you're sharing it. Because doors were meant to be opened.
It goes like this.
share my life with them. I think we're lucky that we get to do what we do, and I've never looked at it as a sacrifice.
For me, being on a horse is the one place I can truly be myself.
They do have a language, you just have to learn how to speak it. Remember that they feed off of our energies, and so if you're in a good mood or you're happy, they'll reflect that back.
You meet people from all over the world. You have friends that share the same passion for horses, and I think that's something very special.
Horses is the only constant thing in my life, and it will always be there when I need it.
For me, it's connection.
They make me who I am.
It's very hard to explain. It's magical.
It's just who we are.
In one word, it's freedom.
For me, it's everything.
All right, it's looking like the tractors are making their way out, and we are going to see the conclusion in the second half of our $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50 speed class today here for the 5-star competition. Of course, I'm Danny Waldman. Been here. The gate is going up, and our first of the second half will be coming in. Of course, our leader at the moment, Rupert Carl Winkelman, Ben Mayer in second, and Carly Anthony in third. Mimi Gotchman in fourth at the moment, and Natalie Dean in fifth. So, it's been a very good class, but our very first to go clear was our fastest, and that was Rupert Carl Winkelman in Quinn 33. So they have been leading the whole way through. We're going to see if they can maintain that lead as the rest of the second half gets going. Of course, today's class sponsor is Bainbridge. And presenting our live stream, Dodd Technologies. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. Today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. But of course, today's primary sponsor is Bainbridge. And our title sponsor for the week here is Fidelity Investments. But there you can see our first of the remaining second half is making her way in, and it's going to be Amy Miller and Cristiano. Ranked 58th in the world, it's the Future Adventures entry of the 14-year-old gelding by Canoso with the complement mother. Such a Danish-bred horse. And I believe this is the horse she won the meter 50 on a couple of weeks ago out here. Let's see if she can have a speedy class. Looking like she's off to the races to get this second half started. Let's see what Amy Miller can do. Can she challenge that time? A 60.52 set by Carl Winkelmann. Rupert Carl Winkelmann. Let's see what we got. Does the 8. Does the 6. Needs to be fast here. She's a little bit wide, but gets a good shot. Does the 6. Steady's up there in the 9. It's looking good so far into that double. All right. Gets over that. Moves up here for the 7. Nice around that. I don't think she's going to catch Rupert's time, but she's going for it. Nice angle there. Took the first one out of the turn, but has the vertical coming out. It comes down, so she will pick up that 4 fault, 63.11, slotting her into 13th place at the moment to get this second half started. So now it's going to be Australia's Tyza Erwin. She is sitting on her own entry, and Michael and Wendy Smith's entry, Hialita B. 12-year-old mare that has had tremendous success in recent weeks. And let's see what she can do on the Dutch bred by Emerald with the Valiant mother. Has been such a good horse. Just keeping it patient and organized. Stays out here. Big jump there. Horse gives a little extra kick out behind over that. Nice space here. This horse really jumps forward, but it is such a scopy, beautiful horse to see. Nice across the middle. Jumps through that really well. Just stays out to take her time here. Touches the plank just slightly, but it rolls, but stays in the cups. It just rocked back and forth a little bit. Just needs to keep it organized for these double verticals. Very good there with her upper body. Does the 6 down the last. Very nice round. 67.15 into 7th place for Tyza at the moment. So very good to get us started. 67.15. And that will be her time. And very nice round there for Tyza Erwin and Hialita. Okay, we're going to move on to Jordan Coyle's second entry of the class. Of course, he can be very speedy. Let's see what he can do on the Elon Farm entry, Ariso. 13-year-old gelding by Casal with the contender mother. This has been a very fast horse for him. And you can see he's going for it. And very unique style when he rides this horse. Really drops the horse. He does this with a lot of horses. Look at that super turn. Landed and had the momentum stalled so he could really make a super short turn. He was way inside everybody else's tracks. Oh, but balance was a little bit low there on takeoff and has the front pole of 5B. And gets over that, stretches. This horse's natural balance wants to really crouch down, use the head and neck. Lands a little bit low, but you can see he's really soft with his hands. That automatic release, meaning that it's not a crest release. He really drops the hands and stays forward alongside the neck versus up on top of the neck. And unfortunately, wheels coming off a little bit, having a few down here. Gets over the, does not get over the last, but he will pick up 20 faults in the end. Time 63.69 for Jordan Coyle and Ariso. We've seen them do great things in the past. I'm sure they'll come back another day with a strong performance. Just not their day today. All right, Germany still leading with Rupert Karl Winkelmann and his time 60.52. No one has even come remotely close to him. Everyone is at least 2 seconds slower. But let's see what Ireland's Conor O'Regan can do on his second mount, Manchester. 12-year-old gelding owned by Delshore Horses LLC by Kidam de Revel with the Codex Mother. Seen this horse jump a bit, jump some really nice rounds in recent weeks. I quite like this one. Let's see what Conor O'Regan can do. Does the 9, but keeps moving. Does the patient 7, stays out. There you could see just was a little bit stalled as he took off and then kind of landed and ran away from the jump a little bit wide, so that it made his turn back a little bit wide there. So not going to be the quickest, but still trying to leave the jumps up. This horse has clearly a lot of blood. Really pats the ground there. Great. Moves up across that. Gets over the plank nicely. Good space there coming into the double. He's looking good so far. Not going to catch that time, but super clear round. Oh, no, sorry. With the 4 faults. That means that he will finish up with the 4 faults for Conor O'Regan in Manchester. All right, now we're going to take a look at one of the winningmost riders on this horse. It is, of course, the 19-year-old stallion, oldest horse in the class, Bull Run's Faustino Detilli. They call him Frosty, and owned by Bull Run Jumpers 5 LLC by Berlin with the Darko mother. This horse has won so many of these Friday speed classes. He is so fast. Oh, and he has the 1 down. I was rooting for Frosty, but has that 1 down as well. And looking like maybe after the 2 down with the old man, Kristen Vandermeen is going to call it a day. So, gave it a shot, but sometimes on an older horse like that, he's had a great career, and he doesn't need to keep jumping this class after having 2 down. So she'll save him for another day. Okie dokie. We are going to move on. And again, of course, thanks to Bainbridge for their sponsorship of today's meter 50 speed class here at week 5 for the 5-star week. The first 5-star week. Of course, we've got many more weeks of show jumping left to come for the Winter Equestrian Festival. Non-stop FEI action every single week, Wednesday through Sunday. Of course, I'll be here on the sidelines tomorrow night for you guys, doing some reporting from the arena for the 5-star Grand Prix. And I, of course, will be back on Sunday for the live stream for the Meter 50 Classic. We are going to continue now with USA's Jimmy Toronto. He is sitting on his own entry, Coachio Z. 10-year-old gelding by Cannon with the Diamant. Let's see what Jimmy can do. He had a good solid round on Chewbacca earlier. So it is his second mount of this class. And just taking his time. Again, time allowed is 71 seconds in this class. Again, hasn't played much of a factor. And of course, our leading time at the moment, 60.52. Jimmy's off. Nice 8. Beautiful jump there at the vertical. Steadies up and stays out for the 7. Right to the base. What a beautiful jump. Neat turn back here. There you can see Jimmy just keeping the horse out a little bit, steadying up to get to that offset Liverpool vertical. Good jump there through the tight double. Now he's giving himself a little bit of extra time back to this double. Again, in the first half of the class, that caused a lot of trouble. And there we go. We see that Oxer coming in, causing a little bit more trouble. That's probably been the most difficult course on the jumps, on the most difficult jump on the course so far. Clears that. Steadies up, curls around A. He touches it, but it actually stays up. Good strong ride to the last. Ooh, that does fall a little bit late. Front pole, that coming down. So Jimmy will finish up with 3 down, 12 faults. Time is 67.32 for Cochio and Jimmy Tirana. All right, next up is going to be Miss Jessica Springsteen, 32-year-old rider representing her home nation of the USA, ranked 122nd in the world at the moment. Jess is sitting on the Stonehill Farm entry, Naomi Van Het Kaisershof. 11-year-old mare by Cardento with the Ford Pleasure mother. Let's see if Jess is going to give it a go today. She's had this horse now for a couple of years, been developing it up to this higher level, and it's really been jumping beautifully recently. I saw it jump just sort of a small class a week or two ago, and it was a gorgeous round. So she's on it there, 1 to 2. This horse has a very big stride. Very careful and sporty. Jess is going for it. Sits up here for the Liverpool. Really good with the upper body. A little bit of a touch there. Great scopy jump out of the double. Stays on that inside track. Steadies up for the angle at the orange. Now she's got to get a good shot into this double. That was beautifully done. Look at that high round jump. Oh, and she puts a little bend in that, so she's already angling back towards the Oxer. Great shot there. Sits up for the plank. Gets over the plank. Keeps moving for the 7. Got to be neat back here. She's looking good so far. Now she's got to sit up, curl around these verticals. Oh, and she has B coming down. Gets over the last. She had the time, 59.87. She would have been our leader, but with the 1 down, she'll go into 11th with Naomi and Jessica Springsteen. So super round there. Unlucky fault. Very sad to have B at the end of that double. I thought she set it up really well. A little bit hard for the camera to see behind the gazebo there what happens at B, but unfortunately that came down. So super round though. All right, now we're going to take a look at 35-year-old rider from the USA, Nico Ritter. And he is sitting on the Wendy Peralta entry, Candle. 9-year-old gelding by Cannon with the Gasol mother. A little bit wide here, back on the Liverpool. Jumps through that double beautifully. Nice slice there. A little bit of leg there to get out of the double. Has the front pole of that green Oxer there. And he'll get over that last time, 70.02. Just under that time allowed, but with the 1 down, 4 faults. Going into 22nd place there for Nico Ritter and Candle. All right, right, now we're going to score the round of who's going to be Kelly Cruciani Vanderveen. And the Banner Farms LLC entry, Mochito Aviti Misagan. 12-year-old gelding by Emerald with the Lord Z mother. Nice shot there. Stays out for this. Does a nice 6. Beautiful jump there through the double. It's actually riding somehow easier this second half of the course than it did the first half. First half, it was really riding super short. Here, it's not so bad. Ooh, super hard rub, and actually it does fall. It looked like maybe it was going to stay up, but it does fall, unfortunately. Popping the back pole. Gets over the plank. Gets there maybe a little bit early there at the green oxer. Again, those minty green, any kind of pastel colored poles, hard for the horses to see, and she just got there a tiny bit early. Gets over the last, but will finish up with 8 faults. Time 65.26 for Kelly Cruciani Vanderveen and Mochito. All right, next up is going to be United Kingdom's Tim Gredley. Rachel Gredley, William Gredley, and Unex Competition Yard Limited Entry Imperial HBF. 11-year-old gelding by Glasgow with the original VDL mother. Tim was super double clear in our OF Challenge Cup yesterday. But today he's sitting on Imperial. Looking good there. This horse has the little black fuzzy on his nose. We call that a shadow roll. Wow, big jump there. That was huge. That was awesome. You can see that little shadow roll. Helps the horse from looking down a little bit. Nice, beautiful jump. Is really jumping up and high and around the jumps. Strong ride here out of the corner. Gets there good though. Balances up in the 2. Unfortunately, having the plank down behind. We actually hadn't seen the plank come down for a while. It came down quite a lot in the first half. But coming down for Tim. Steadies up here. Gets over the last. But with the plank down, he will pick up 4 faults. Time 64.08 for Tim Gredley and Imperial HBF. Again, our leading time is 60.52, set by Rupert Carl Winkelman early on in our class. Quinn 33 leading the way. And let's see if Kathleen Driscoll's second entry, she was the first one to go in the class, and now she's on her second entry. Ranked 60th in the world at just 30 years of age. USA's Kathleen Driscoll, and she is sitting on Hidalgo. Hidalgo is an 11-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by Katoki with the Kidam mother, owned by Don Stewart. She lost her stirrup. Oh, gets it back. That's good. Boy, is that annoying as a rider to lose your stirrup. There you can see the horse just really shifted right to left on takeoff and just kind of jumped right into that front pole. The shift is definitely what caused that. Set a little bit awkwardly, but it's actually been jumping surprisingly well all class. Has the front pole of that oxer coming into the double as well. Again, that proving to be the most difficult jump on the course today. Funny, simple enough, you think a double by itself, but the way the turn back is, very wide. Hard to jump. She also has the plank down. She will get over the last, but will pick up the 3 down, 12 faults times 66.92 for Kathleen Driscoll and Hidalgo. Probably not her favorite day of show jumping, but that is how it goes in our sport sometimes. It makes us appreciate the good days that much more.
Five-star Bainbridge in the meter 50 class continues on here today.
Now we're going to take a look
Bainbridge on the rider horse here,
Charlotte Jacobs.
Showing for the owners, North Star of Eastern
29-year-old American rider, ranked 173rd in the world. Today she's sitting on Thomas Court, Ballypatrick. The North Star entry of the 9-year-old gelding by Ballyduruwe with the Indoctro mother. This horse sounds like it could not have more of an Irish name. Funny, because it's not Irish breeding, but sounding Irish. All right, let's see if Miss Charlotte Jacobs can show the way. Time to beat 60.52, set by Rupert Carl Winkelmann and Quinn 33. Looks like she's giving it a go. It's a beautiful jump at number 1. Stays out, but gets a good shot here. Trying to be neat back. Just looking like she's trying to be efficient, but not crazy fast. Great jump there. This horse really jumping great. We were talking yesterday also how the Jacobs family really also very involved with breeding here in America and buying young horses over in Europe. And it's nice to see families getting involved and understanding exactly the roots of our sport. And of course, the majority of breeding taking place in Europe, but starting to get some more over here in the U.S. Following it along. All right, she gets over the last. Beautiful, nice, simple, clear round. 68-78 for Charlotte Jacobs. Thomas Court, Ballypatrick.
16 to go now, top 3.
15 left to jump.
And taking up the challenge now, the number 17 ranked rider in the world, Canada's
It's going to be Canada's 17th ranked rider in the world, Tiffany Foster. I believe she's one of the, if not the highest ranked female rider in the world. Won our 4-star under the lights a couple of weeks ago. That was a spectacular win for Tiff. Actually, her first Saturday Night Lights Grand Prix win down in Wellington. But today she's sitting on the 9-year-old Nindino PS, owned by 5 Roosters, gelding by Nintendo with the Diorado mother. And there, just looked like a little bit, the horse was a little bit casual at the vertical there. Didn't quite take his time and jumped up. A good reaction, however, at the Oxer. Like he woke up after he had number 2 down. Has A coming into the double. We actually have not seen that so much. Just jumped a little bit straight. A little bit low with that front end. And now it looks like he's jumping pretty good. She does have that vertical coming in. That last double is very, very difficult. We've really seen that come down a ton. Reaches a little bit for the last, moves up, but we'll pick up those 3 down, 12 fault, 69.27 for Tiffany Foster and Nindino PS. All right, now we're going to take a look at the USA's wonderful full of young riders, not so young. There she is, 27. Still in her 20s, she's still young. Lily Keenan, ranked 47th in the world, and today she's sitting on Chili Pepper HMZ, the 9-year-old stallion, owned by Chansonet Farm LLC by Cornetto Belinsky with the Caratano Z mother. Nice shot at 1, right on the angle. Beautiful there in the 8 to the 6. Very simple. Great upper body use there to slow the arc of the jump down. There we go. If you're looking for a good reference, somebody else who does that very well, where they kind of use their upper body to slow the shape and the arc of the jump, is Marcus Enning. German rider Marcus Enning is probably the most memorable of someone who does that, but Lily also does quite a good job at it. Really gets the horse to jump up to her. Clears the plank, looking good so far. Oh, just gets there a little bit early to that minty green oxer, pushing the front pole out of the way, and then having that down coming into the double. Again, the placement of that double, very difficult. She'll pick up 2 down, 8 faults, times 65.62 for Lily and Chili Pepper. Again, when you have double verticals like that, one, it's off of a short turn, rollback turn, so people try to take the first distance, and you have that big open 7 before it. Horses just get a little bit flat, and they don't have the perfect balance, and that is why we're seeing it come down so much today. Doubles causing all the trouble today. All right, let's take a look at Belgium's Zoe Conter. And she's sitting on Tombola Z. 10-year-old mare by Toulon with the Dominard mother, owned by the Stefek stables of Belgium. Zankerside, a registered horse. You can see that with the Z at the end of the name. Leading time, 60.52. Rupert Carl Winkelmann. She's going. She's looking really good. Oh, yeah, she's taking the first one out of the corner here. Very good ride there. Little kick out there behind by the horse. That was super. Clears A. Ooh, you could see the hind end kind of double pump a little bit as he took off, cleared the front pole. Good athletic move there. Nice shot in here. Oh, backed up good. Again, this horse by Toulon, really horses with a lot of blood, scope, and really forward jumping. You can see that all in this horse. Jumped up high there. She's got to keep moving here in the turn. I don't think she's going to catch Rupert, but can she leave the jumps up? Oh, there you see that hind end. It was sort of kicking out and doing a couple of double pumps throughout the course, but there it just couldn't quite get it out of the way for 11A, so she will pick up that 1 down, 4 faults, times 64.39. Going into 19th place for Zoe Conter. And now we're going to see Zoe's sister, Emily Conter. And Emily Conter, 23 years old, also representing their own, or her home nation of Belgium. She's sitting on Ocean Quality, 10-year-old mare by Baltic with the Colado mother, owned by the Stefek stables out of Belgium. So the two sisters back to back. Can she beat that time of 60.52? Let's see. She's looking good so far. Doing the same numbers as Carl, or as Rupert so far. Nice jump there. Stays on the inside track here, looking good. Gets over that. Trying to do a little reorganizing. You can see the reins a little long. She's just reorganizing as she landed. Gets a good shot into the double. Wow, keeps moving here across the middle. She'll have to slow down here for the plank. Getting a little bit close. Gets away with it. And there it catches up with her, unfortunately. Just getting a little bit long, strung out, and a little bit flat there. And again, we see A of that double coming down as well. Clears the last, but we'll pick up those two down on the course. 8 faults times 62.65 for Emily Contender in ocean quality. So probably around 10, 11 left to jump. Our first one to go clear is still leading. Is he going to maintain that lead throughout? That will be impressive if he does. But I don't think Adrian Sterling is going to let that go easily. So 30-year-old rider from the USA. Adrian is sitting on Clemens 72. 10-year-old gelding by Choco Blue with a Canthargos mother. Owned by the Starlight Farms 1 LLC. Stays out here. This horse has such a hugely expressive, big jump. Actually takes so much time in the air, but it's really impressive to see. Adrian had a beautiful round yesterday. She led off our WEF class. She actually was clear with the time fault. It was a beautiful round in Origi. But today she's on Clemens. Big shot there. Really nice. Gets over the plank. This horse also has a very big stride with the big jump. Look at that. Jumps really in its own style. A little bit of a touch at A, but gets over that, gets through the double verticals. Clears the last. Beautiful clear round. 68.21 will put her into 9th place at the moment. But nice clear for Adrian.
She's aboard Oasis Banded Bucktail. She is aboard a 10-year-old Belgian warm-blood mare for the Marigold Sport Horses of
And now Natalie Dean is going to be on her second entry of the class. Marigold Sport Horses LLC, Oasis Van de Bucktail. 24-year-old rider for the USA, ranked 83rd in the world. She had a gorgeous round on a kata earlier in this class, but now she is sitting on Oasis. Compact little sport horse to see. Beautiful jump behind. Former ride of Paris Sellin, Martin Fuchs, Michael G. Duffy. So this horse had a lot of good riders. Now Natalie has the reins. Really good shot there. So good behind. You can see it really thinks about where the hind end is. Ooh, she's a little far off there. Good job to kind of sit up, add leg to get out of that double. But like we saw a lot in the first half. And they are just getting a little bit too much energy, a little bit flat at the plank. There, the horse, actually, I think she set it up okay. The horse just rolled the front end a little bit, was a little bit low, and just didn't get those legs out of the way. So she will pick up 12 faults, 63.46 on the 12 faults for Natalie Dean and Oasis. All right, now our final 10. First of those is going to be USA's McLean Ward. McLean is 8th in the world at the moment, and today he's sitting on the Susan Heller and his own entry, La Serra. 10-year-old mare by Casal with the Lacros mother. Let's see if McLean gives this a go. He is pre-qualified for tomorrow's Grand Prix, and I'm sure he'd like to win this class. Stays out, does the 9. Also does the 7, but gets a really nice high jump there so he can land shallow, keep the turn tight back to this Liverpool. Steadies up in the 6. Gets through that double beautifully. It's the 8. He's looking good so far. That time to beat, 60.52. Steadies up, really gets to the base of that. That was the right move into that double. We've seen that come down a lot because people are getting long and strung out to it. Steadies up for the 4. Beautiful jump there around the plank. Moves up here for the green oxer. Now he's got to keep it organized and get the horse to curl around these double verticals. And he has a down, unfortunately, like we've seen time and time again. So that means he will pick up 4 faults, 62.65. So almost there for McLean, but with 1 down. Going into 17th place at the moment. All right. So again, Rupert Carl Winkelmann is still leading this class after being the first one to go clear, 60.52. I believe Ben Mayer is in 2nd, and Carly Anthony's still in 3rd. So we've seen very few clear in this second half, to be perfectly honest.
Top 3 so far, we have Rupert Carl Winkelmann.
Actually only seen 12 clear total. And we've seen 50 jump. So that is not the highest percentage. Just waiting at the moment for our next one to come in again. Thank you to Bainbridge for their sponsorship today. And of course, our live stream presented by Dodd Technologies and Youssef. And there we go. There's our next one. USA's Kristen Vanderveen. She gave it a go on our first entry. That didn't work out, so she's trying again. And this time, she is sitting on Bull Runs Has Said. 10-year-old gelding by Christian 25 with the Lord Zed mother, owned by Bull Run Jumpers Incorporated. Saw this horse jump a little bit last year, and it jumped really, really well. Really liked it. Let's see how Hased can do today. Just coming into his prime as a 10-year-old now. Let's see what Kristen tries to do. Time to beat, 60.52. She's looking like she is just trying to take a nice, easy round. Again, this horse is not too old. A little bit of a rub there, the blue. There she really set the horse up, and you could see he really kind of set himself to jump that. Beautiful through there. Kristen really has her own style, but she has impeccable timing. And really great feel, very natural, very competitive. But I think it's her timing that makes her exceptional. Steadies up, horse shakes his head a little bit. She gets really to the base of that, but the horse made a great effort to jump up and away from that front pole instead of jumping into it, which we've seen a number of them do. And there, gets right to the base of the red vertical, has that down behind coming into the double verticals, like we've seen time and time again. So with just that one down, 4 faults times 70.13, so just under that time allowed, but on the 4 for Kristen Vanderveen. And Bull Runs Has Said. Okie dokie. Now we're going to take a look at the Grant Road Partners LLC entry, Atika Deova, and Catherine A. Dinan entry, a 30-year-old rider for the USA. Atika is a 14-year-old mare by Rock and Roll Semele with the Sharif Dell mother. It's a French-bred horse. She had a really nice round out on the field on this horse last week. This looks like such a fun horse to ride. Gets over the Liverpool. Looking good. She's moving. She's Got to keep going and leave those jumps up. She looks good so far. Nice shot here. She'll have to steady up, keep it organized. Oh, she was real deep there. Wow, great effort on the horse's part to clear that plank. Gets over that. Now she's got to get through this very tricky final line. Can she do it? Sits up. Ooh, hard rub with the belly at A, but it stays up. She's looking good. She's not going to catch the time, but a little bit of a rub at the last, but that one also stays up. 64.20. She will be clear and into 5th for Katie. And Atika, 64.20 was her time. So, good round there for Katie Dunn, and she's having a really good week. Now let's see if the wonderful Canadian rider, Erin Ballard, is ranked 33rd in the world. Can she do it? She is sitting on game over. And is it going to be game over for this class? We're going to know very shortly. 13-year-old gelding, owned by Elon Ferder. Stays out in the 7, gets a good shot. She's moving here. Balances early, comes forward again at the end. Lands a little shallow off that, but clears it. Nice shot there at the orange vertical. They're stalled a little bit in the corner. Erin did a great job to just keep kicking to try to get up to the base of that. She gets that done. Clears this. Needs to steady up for the plank. Touches the plank. It rattles in the flat cups, but stays up. And now that she's opened up for that 7, can she reel it in for the double verticals? Ooh, touch, but they both stay up. She's looking good. She's all right, pretty close to it. I don't know if she's going to catch him. Very close, though, 61.80. That will go into 2nd, so that was a hell of an effort there for Erin Ballard, 61.80. She will take over the 2nd spot. Great effort there by Erin. It was almost game over, but not quite. So that means Rupert Carl Dinkelman is still in the lead. But let's see if Niall Nassar and the Evergate Stables LLC entry, Igor Vanda Whittemore, can he do it? Ranked 37th in the world, Niall Nassar, 33 years old. And he had a beautiful round yesterday. But today, he's sitting on Igor. Of course, won the Grand Prix in St. Gallen on this horse. Took this horse also to the Tokyo Olympics, so this has been one of his top mounts for the last few years. Before Niall had the ride, it was Andre and Koen Verreka from Belgium. And he is going for it. Look how speedy he's going. He's trying. This horse can be very fast. Wow, that was an athletic move. I didn't think the horse even saw the jump. Steadies up here a little bit, gets over that, but this horse has such a quick foot speed. Now he's got to get the good shot coming in here. He's a little bit off it. Oh, but very scopy, this horse. There you can see Niall use the right rein to try to keep the horse straight, but just doesn't get enough height to get over that vertical. Clears the plank. There we go. And now it's just steady up here. Ooh. And he touches A, or rolls B out of the cups. And gets over the last, but we'll pick up those 2 down. 8 faults times 60.80. So he was close on that time, but with the 2 down, put him into 31st place at the moment. Funny enough, the double up at the top caused trouble throughout the whole class, but the double verticals at 11A and B really getting everybody at the end of this class now. You know, in the first half, it wasn't such a problem, but it is catching almost everyone at this stage. Again, we've only seen 4 or 5 clear in this second half because the double is catching everyone. All right, let's look at Mexico's Carlos Hank Guerrero in his second entry of the class, H5 Chaco San. 13-year-old gelding by Chaco Blue with his Sandra Boy mother, owned by H5 Sport Horses LLC. Nice angle there. Already turning back. That was quick. Whoa, takes the first one out of the turn there. Very quick back to the Liverpool. Sits up here. Good careful move from the horse through that double. Gets the slice. Pats the ground at the orange vertical. Wow, big, beautiful jump there coming in. The horse really jumped up around that oxer. Funny, some are jumping that spectacularly, and some are struggling with it. Gets over the plank. He's looking pretty quick. This is a pretty good round. Oh, I jinxed him. Hooks that, and he is going into this double. Look at that. No trouble at all. Took the first one. He is going to be super fast. Might even be our fastest time of the class, 59.52. But with the one down, 4 faults, he will go into 15th place for Chaco-san and Carlos Hank Guerrero. So, wonderful effort there, but with the front pole of that green oxer, it will keep him from the win. All right, I think we've got 5 remaining in this $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50 speed. Also a qualifier for tomorrow night's Grand Prix. 5 left to go. First of those is going to be Venezuela's Luis Fernando Larrazabal and Beldemuse, 14-year-old mare by Ponzi. This horse is owned by Driss Nagati and Luis Fernando Larrazabal. Oh, he's tight back on this. Right to left, or left to right angle. Has to move up a little bit in the 6. Wow, horse, great move there. Wow, you can see it really extra kick out behind. Try to throw its leg into the middle of the oxer. Just a little pushing on the air for a little extra lift. Good jump there. Luis is going for it. Looking quick. This horse is such a trier. Look at it, so careful. Does the 8. And he's on it, he's quick. Got 10 seconds left. Can he clear these? Ooh, a little bit of a touch. Clears it. Does the 7, but I think he's gonna get it actually. Oh, close. 60.92, second. Almost caught him. That was a super round, 60.92. And that will slot in between our leader, Rupert Carl Winkelman, and Aaron Ballard, who had gone into second just before. So that was the closest challenger so far that we've seen. But that was a super round from Luis. All right, and we're going to move on to Ben Mayer's second mount of the class. Today, and on this second round, he's sitting on Point Break, owned by Ben himself, as well as Charlotte Rossiter and Pamela Wright. 10-year-old Swedish bred stallion by Action Breaker with the Balu du Rouet mother. Beautiful round jump. This horse has a great bascule to its jump. Look at that. Wow. Jerks those knees up. Wow, beautiful jump there. And if anybody is curious, the strap that you see going from the saddle and down the back and around the tail is actually because the horse is a stallion and it's holding his manhood. But sometimes horses are a little bit more comfortable if they have extra support, as I assume men are when they wear underwear. Ben looking really good here. Look at this. I don't think he's on the winning time, but oh, and he just gets a little bit close there and has A and B down. But this was going to be a super round. Unfortunately, with those double verticals both coming down, 8 faults, 62.58 for Ben and Point Break. But he was clear on his other horse, so not a bad day. Looking like first of our remaining 2 going to be Laura Crowd in her second entry, Picobello VH Penisov. 9-year-old gelding by Vigo Darsui with the Polydoctus VD Hill mother, owned by BV B Deis. Let's see what this 9-year-old Belgian-bred horse can do. So again, just 9, probably just stepping up to this level. It's the beginning of the year. Might not even actually be 9 yet. It could still be actually 8. A little bit of a grunt there at the blue oxer. Really quick there with the legs. Horse has a real athleticism to him. Doesn't necessarily look it if you see the canter, but handier than you'd expect. Looks like quite a big horse as well. Beautiful jump there. A little bit quick coming out of that double. Horse really jumps forward. Laura doing a good job to try to keep it contained. Keep his body up in the air versus shooting across the jumps. That was beautifully done. Again, she's not really going for the time, but that was absolutely beautifully done. Oh, unfortunately, having the last jump down, she will pick up a couple of time faults as well. Total of 7 faults for Laura Kraut and Picobello. 73.50 is that time. And now we're going to round out our starting field with our last rider, Caroline Maloney, and her own entry, Carsey Z. 11-year-old gelding by Cartino Zed with the Guidom mother. Again, our leading time, 60.52, with Rupert Carl Winkelmann. The Eichendorff Horses GmbH entry, Quinn 33, is winning at the moment. They've been winning this whole class. Can Caroline catch him? She steadies up here, a little bit on the inside track, so she really had to steady versus staying out. But she's neat back here. Clears that. Nice jump there. Stays on the inside track as well. Ooh, gets very close to the orange vertical. Gets over it. She's looking good so far. Don't know if she's quite fast enough to catch Rupert, but she's looking good so far. Steadies up. Good jump over the plank. Look at this bountiful canter just galloping on down there. She's turning back. Can she hold it together to get over these verticals? No. A comes down like we've seen time and time again. But that means that Rupert Carl Winkelmann will win our meter 50 speed today. Caroline will finish up 4 faults, time 64.44. So that means that our first to go clear, he was, what was he? He was 12th in the original order, but he took the lead with the first clear round, and he held the lead the entire class. What a feat that is. Absolutely super impressive for the German. Rupert Carl Winkelmann and the Eichendorff Horses GmbH entry, Quinn 33, will be our winners today. The closest challenger came right at the end. That was Luis Fernando Larrazabal and Belle de Muse. And then, of course, just before that, Aaron Ballard and Game Over finish up in third. So it was a super exciting speed class here today. We'll be coming up with the prize giving ceremony in just a minute. And of course, stay tuned later for the 2-star Grand Prix qualifier coming up in a little bit. And tomorrow, of course, our Fidelity Investments 5-star Grand Prix under the lights for Saturday Night Lights here at Wellington International. Very exciting week of 5-star competition. Sunday, I'll be back with you guys for the Meter 50 Classic. And again, of course, thanks to our sponsor today, Bainbridge. And presenting our live stream is Dodd Technologies. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit them online at doddtechnologies.com. Today's live stream also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. Of course, this week's title sponsor, Fidelity Investments. We thank all of our sponsors here at the Winter Equestrian Festival all season long. It's very exciting to watch. Today was a super speed class. Like I said, part qualifier for the Grand Prix. And there is our final results. First place, Rupert Karl Winkelmann of Germany. Second, Luis Fernando de Razabel. And third is right there, Erin Ballard, and game over. Her time was 61.80 for third place. She had a super round, great effort. Came in here and tried her best, and she did a great job. So she's walking over to the prize-giving ceremony. We'll congratulate Erin on her third place win. Canadian rider Erin Ballard, that time 61.80. So second and a half or so off for that winning time, but still a super effort. We saw 57 horses jump this first round. Not even that many went clear. And our first one to go clear led the whole way and won the class. Congrats to Erin on her third place finish. She's there for her little photo op. And our second place finisher coming up behind her.
Here's your second place, so congratulate representing Venezuela here.
That is going to be Venezuela's Luis Fernando Larrazabal. And Dries Nagati's entry, Belle de Muse. Their time 60.92, so they were very close, but no cigar. So second place, congratulations to Luis. And of course our champion today, the German Rupert Karl Winkelmann and 33. They put in a blazing time of 60.52. What a super effort that was. First to go clear and wonderful. This has been a wonderful presentation where they are going to do the national anthem now of Germany. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. My name is Danny Waldman. Thanks again for listening. And of course, congratulations to all of our winners, especially Mr. German Rupert Karl Winkelmann. Here's a listen to the German national anthem, and I will be back with you guys on Sunday, but stay tuned all week for more jumping competition.
Congratulations to our top contender here today at our 5-star. Leading us off with a round of honor with salute Rupert Karl Winkelmann and Quinn for the top prize here in our Bainbridge meter 50. Top 3, Germany, Venezuela, and Canada. Five-star competition offered tomorrow evening. Of course, we hope you'll be part of our Saturday night lights. Thanks to Richard Schechter, and we thank the Bainbridge companies for their support. Honored to win here today, Rupert Carl Bickleman, Luis Marizada,